Before we crack open tonight's cursed can of content, I just want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, and an extra sinister shout out to the loyal members of the Sinister Elite. You legends help keep the darkness alive. If you're enjoying the stories and want to take it a step further, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and consider joining the Sinister Elite by clicking that join button below. Members get access to creepy custom emojis and exclusive Sinister Elite badges that level up the longer you survive with us. It's like loyalty, but spookier. All right, lights off, headphones in, and let's summon something we'll all regret. I took the night shift at a place called the Scarlet Sip. It's a bar hidden in a dying strip mall. The neon sign flickers like it's breathing. Pay was great. Hours were short. Only one catch. My boss said the customers were special. I thought that meant celebrities. Or weird rich people. Nope. Try vampires. Real ones. Fangs. Eyes like dying flashlights. And appetites that could turn your bones into soup. My first night, my boss slid me a laminated card. The card had 3 rules. Simple, straight to the point, and terrifying. Rule 1. Never pour a drink before the ID hits the bar. Rule 2. Never look directly into a customer's eyes. Rule 3. When the lights flicker, step back, hands up, don't speak. I asked why. He said, because the wrong pour, the wrong glance, the wrong word might get you drained like a Capri Sun. He said it with a straight face. I laughed like an idiot. He didn't. The bar opened at midnight. Vampires came in like they owned the night. Tall ones, short ones, ones that looked like they crawled out of graves, ones that looked like they stepped off a runway. Their IDs weren't normal IDs either. Some were burned, some were written in Latin. One was carved into a bone. But I did my job. I poured drinks with names like Typo Mule and Plasma Splash. I kept my eyes down, and I stayed behind the yellow tape on the floor. That wasn't OSHA safe. That was for them. Around 1:15 a.m., the lights flickered. My stomach dropped. Everyone froze. And I remembered Rule 3. Step back, hands up, don't speak. I did it. My palms were sweating. My teeth were chattering. The vampires turned their heads in unison, like snakes sensing prey. Then I heard it. A growl, deep, hungry, wrong. The lights flickered again. Something crawled out of the back room. Long fingers, white skin, jaw unhinged like a broken door. A vampire, but not a normal one. This thing wasn't dressed nice, wasn't ordering a drink. It was starving, rabid. They called these feral sippers. One of the regular vampires hissed. Another backed away. The feral vampire looked at me with black eyes, the kind that felt like they sucked sound out of the room. Then the worst thing happened. The lights went out completely. Something slammed into the bar. Glass shattered. Someone screamed. I felt cold fingers brush my arm. Then, a voice, whispering inches from my ear. You smell awake. I didn't breathe. I didn't blink. I didn't move. The light snapped back on, and the feral vampire was suddenly gone. Only a smear of dark red on the wall, and a single tooth sitting on the counter, still warm. My boss ran out from the back room. He looked terrified. He grabbed my shoulder. Rule 4 just got added. Do not touch anything a feral drops. Ever. I nodded. But I couldn't stop staring at the smear on the wall, and the shadows behind it, because something moved in those shadows. And whatever it wasn't done with me. The bar closed at 3 a.m. I expected cleanup duty, but my boss didn't even let me touch a broom. He dragged me into the office, locked the door, and shut off the lights. Only the red emergency bulb stayed lit, made the whole room look bloody. He paced back and forth, muttering, sniffing the air, scratching his jaw. Finally, he said it. You shouldn't be alive. That wasn't a great way to start a conversation. I gulped. What do you mean? He stopped pacing, looked right at me. which broke rule 2. But he didn't care. Ferals don't hunt customers. They hunt staff. They go for fresh minds, warm blood, anyone breathing too loud. He sniffed again. Which you were. He wasn't wrong. I breathe like a busted vacuum when I'm scared. He pulled out a metal box, unlocked it. Inside was a stack of papers, a cross, a little silver bell, and a single wooden stake. He pushed the stake toward me. Carry this. Always. I pushed it back. No. No way, if I stab someone by accident, I'm toast. He shook his head. You won't stab anyone. You'll only use this if a feral bites you. That made it worse. He opened another drawer, lifted out a jar filled with something dark. He shoved it into my hands. It was cold, thick, slow-moving. What is this? I asked. Feral blood, he said. I almost threw it. He didn't blink. If the feral marked you, if it brushed you, if it smelled you for too long, it might track you home. So you smear this on your front door. It tells them you're claimed. They stay away. Claimed by what? He didn't answer. I didn't push it. He walked me outside at closing. The parking lot was empty. Only the neon sign buzzed, and that faint red smear left on the bar wall. Something about that smear felt alive, like it was drying too slow. My boss stopped me at my car. Before you leave, tell me, did it touch you? I hesitated, because I remembered something. When the lights went out, I felt fingers on my arm. Cold, thin, shaking, but I didn't want to admit it, so I lied. No, I don't think so. He frowned. His eyes narrowed. He sniffed my shirt. Liar. I stepped back. What are you talking about? He pointed at my sleeve. I looked down. There was a small smear on my arm. A smear the color of old wine. A smear shaped like a thumbprint. My stomach turned. The feral had touched me. I wasn't supposed to be alive. He grabbed my collar, pulled me close. Listen to me. Get in your car. Drive straight home. Lock your windows. Smear the blood on your door. And whatever you do, do not look outside after sunrise. Why? I asked. He didn't answer. He just shoved me toward the car. I drove home shaking. Every shadow looked like someone crouched inside it. Every parked car felt like it was watching me. I kept checking my mirrors. Then I remembered the old vampire saying, "Never use mirrors. They show the things you don't want to see." So I covered mine with napkins. I reached my house around 3:45 a.m., stumbled out of the car, ran to my door, locked it, bolted it, chained it. Then I grabbed the jar of feral blood. My hand was trembling. The lid was tight. I struggled with it, almost dropped it. Finally it opened. The smell hit me first. Rotting metal, burned hair, old pennies. I gagged, dipped my fingers in, smeared it across my door frame, then across the windows, then the mailbox. I wasn't taking chances. I sat in my dark living room, lights off, door smeared red, steak on my lap, trying to convince myself I'd be fine. Then I heard it. A soft knock. On the door. 3 taps. Slow. Hungry. I froze. Another knock. This time lower, like someone dragging their knuckles. Then a whisper, right behind the wood. I smelled you. I didn't breathe, didn't move, didn't blink. The whisper slid across the door, like lips dragging slowly. Then silence. I stayed there until the sun came up, and that's when things got worse. People say sunrise is safe, that sunlight turns vampires into dust. That morning means freedom. They're wrong, at least when it comes to ferals. I sat on my couch until the first light hit my blinds, steak in my hand, jar of feral blood on the table. My heart was pounding like a broken drum. The knock at my door had stopped hours ago, but I still heard the whisper, over and over, in my head. I smelled you. The sun finally rose. The room brightened. My shoulders dropped. I let out a shaky breath. I thought it was over. I thought the night was done. I thought sunlight meant safety. Then my phone buzzed. A text. From my boss. One sentence. Do not look outside. My blood ran cold. The timing was too perfect, too sudden, too wrong. I texted back. Why not? 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Then the message came through. Because if the feral marked you, sunlight will not stop it. It will wait. It will stalk. It will hide under anything that casts a shadow, and it will watch your house until you look back. I swallowed hard. The room felt smaller. The air felt thicker. My blinds were closed, but a thin beam of light peeked through one crack. I could see outside. A sliver. Barely an inch. Just enough to see part of my front yard. I stood up, walked over. Slow. Careful. I didn't open the blinds. I only pressed my eye to the little gap. Just a peek. Big mistake. At first, I saw nothing. Just grass. Morning dew. My mailbox. Then something shifted. A shape moved. Something crouched low. Very low. Right beside the old tree stump. White skin. Shoulders hunched. Its back rising and falling with slow breaths. The feral. Hiding in the shade of a stump. Waiting. Like a spider. Perfectly still. Its head slowly turned. Sniffing the air. Sniffing toward my house. Toward my window. Toward me. My chest tightened. I stepped back. Covered the crack in the blinds. My phone buzzed again. Tell me you didn't look. My fingers shook. I typed. I saw it. It's outside. 3 dots. Gone. 3 dots. Gone. Then a message. Listen to me. You're being hunted and it knows you looked. It knows where the crack is. Now it's waiting for sunset. I dropped onto the couch, head in my hands, breathing loud, too loud, like I was calling it with every breath. Another text. Do exactly what I say. We have a procedure for this. I typed fast. What do I do? His reply came instantly. Pack a bag, no lights, no talking. Stay away from the windows and leave your front door exactly as it is. Do not wipe the blood off. I grabbed my backpack, shoved in clothes, water, the wooden stake, even a garlic salt shaker, probably useless, but I felt better holding it. Another buzz. I'm sending help. They'll pick you up before sunset, I typed. Who? His answer chilled me. The Daywalkers. I'd heard the name whispered around the bar, never loudly, always careful. People said they were hunters, or half-vampires, or ex-humans who made a deal with something older. I didn't know what they were, but if they could keep me alive, I'd take it. I zipped my bag, sat on the floor, back against the wall, trying not to breathe too loud. That's when I heard something. Soft, scraping, right outside the front door, like a fingernail, dragging slowly, down the wood. One long stroke, then a whisper. Soft, hungry, too close. I know you're awake. I froze, didn't move, didn't breathe. Then the whisper returned, same voice. But this time, it was smiling. Sunset will be fun. My phone pinged one last time. They'll be there at 7 p.m. Stay alive until then. I stared at the clock. It was 8:12 a.m., 11 hours to survive, and the thing outside my door had all day to wait. I spent the whole day sitting on the floor, back against the wall, bag packed, stake in hand, ear pressed toward the door. The feral didn't move for hours. I knew because every now and then, I heard it inhale, slow, wet, hungry. It wasn't trying to break in, not yet. It was waiting for night, waiting for its strength, waiting for when sunlight wasn't on its leash. Every hour felt like a year. My legs went numb, my throat went dry. My heart kept thudding like it was trying to escape. I texted my boss once. How do I know these Daywalkers are real? He replied fast. You'll know, trust me. That didn't help. Around 6:47 p.m., The sun dipped low. The sky went orange, then purple, then a dark, bruised blue. The shadows outside my window grew longer, thicker, like they were soaking into the house. At 6:50, the feral moved for the first time. A scrape, a shift, something dragging across the porch, like claws testing the wood. I stared at the clock. 6:55. My breathing got faster. My hands shook. The feral stepped closer. I heard its feet. Bare. Soft. Wrong. Another step. Another. Then the softest whisper. Almost time. The sun was gone now. Only a faint line of light under the clouds. Barely enough to keep it cautious. I could feel its breath through the door. Cold. Thin. Too close. Then, at 6:59 p.m., silence. Like the world muted itself. Even the crickets stopped. My phone buzzed. They're there. Open the door and run to the black SUV. I didn't want to open that door. Not with the feral inches away. Not with the air freezing in my chest. Then I heard a sound. A second vehicle. Low engine. Steady. Controlled. A door opened. Boots hit the ground. Heavy. Measured. Someone knocked. Not on my door, but on the hood of the SUV. Metal. Sharp. 3 taps. The knocks weren't human. Too perfect. Rhythmic. Like someone who had forgotten how to pretend. Then a voice called out. Low. Calm. Unmistakably dangerous. Open the door. Keep your eyes on us. Do not look at the creature. I stood, my legs barely working. I held the stake tight and reached for the door. The feral was right on the other side. I felt its weight shift. I heard its breath. It whispered one more time. I smelled you first. Then I swung the door open. The world outside blurred. Movement everywhere. Dark shapes. Cold air. Then a hand grabbed my shirt, yanked me forward. A tall figure dragged me toward the SUV. Black armor, gray skin, eyes like dim embers. A sword strapped to their back. Not a gun, a sword. Don't breathe in, they said. I exhaled everything I had, held my breath. Ran. Behind me I heard it. The feral, shrieking, fast, too fast. Something heavy slammed into the porch rails. Wood cracked, a screech ripped through the air. A sound like metal grinding bone. The Daywalker shoved me into the back seat. Another slammed the door. The locks clicked. Then one of them spoke. Voice smooth, but cold enough to make my skin crawl. Hold on! The SUV jerked forward. Tires screaming, gravel flying. The feral sprinted behind us. I saw its shadow climbing the rear window. Long fingers slapping the glass. Then the Daywalker in the front seat snapped open a small vial. Smoke poured out. Thick. Silver. Hissing. He tossed it out the window. It shattered on the pavement. The ground lit up. A ring of burning white fire. The feral hit the line and stopped. Its body convulsed, skin blistering, screeching like a dying animal. It couldn't cross. It backed away, still screaming, still staring at me. The SUV tore down the road. The fire behind us dimmed, then vanished. Silence filled the car. Finally, the Daywalker beside me spoke. You should not have survived last night, he said. Ferals don't hesitate, they don't hunt slow. They strike. He leaned closer, studying my face, almost curious. So the real question is this, he whispered. What did it smell on you? My blood ran cold. The SUV sped down the highway. No music, no chatter, just the hum of the engine and the low, steady breathing of the Daywalkers. There were 3 of them, all wearing black armor, all pale in a way that wasn't human, not dead, not alive. Something in between. The one beside me kept staring, like I was a puzzle he hadn't solved yet. Finally he spoke. If a feral touched you, you should be dead. I swallowed hard. Then what saved me? He looked at my sleeve, where the feral had grabbed me, where the thumb-shaped smear had been. You still have the mark, he whispered. I looked down. The smear was gone. But something else was there now. Faint, almost invisible. A thin gray line, like a scar drawn in chalk. "What is that?" I asked. He didn't answer. He reached out, touched it with one gloved finger. His eyes widened. "Impossible." The daywalker in the front seat spoke next, voice deep, gravelly. "That isn't a feral mark. That's a choice mark." I blinked. "A what?" The driver tightened his grip. "You weren't hunted. You were chosen." Everything inside me froze. The daywalker beside me leaned closer. His voice dropped to a whisper. "Ferals choose only one kind of person, someone they want to turn, not kill." I felt my chest tighten. "Wait, you mean like a vampire?" He nodded once, slow, serious, "But not the kind you think of." The engine hummed louder. The SUV turned down an old road. Tree branches scraped the roof. The sky was dark now, and the shadows felt heavier. The daywalker continued. "Ferals turn humans into more ferals, mindless, starving, rabid. But when a feral smells something rare, something ancient, something dormant, they mark it, they don't eat it, they save it." My throat felt dry. "What did it smell on me?" The daywalker's eyes flickered yellow. "Bloodline." I shook my head. "No, that's impossible." He didn't blink. "You're not pure human. Not fully. Something is mixed in your ancestry. Something old. Something that survived extinction." The SUV slowed as we approached a crumbling stone building. Looked like an abandoned church, but I saw symbols carved into the walls. Circles, spikes, runes that made my skin itch. The daywalker pointed toward it. "That place will test you. If your blood wakes up, we take you in." I leaned back in the seat, heart pounding, legs trembling. "And if it doesn't?" The daywalker didn't sugarcoat it. "You'll be executed." I stared at him, mouth open, no words, nothing. He continued, "Because if your bloodline doesn't activate, you'll turn feral by sunrise. That's how the mark works." My stomach twisted. "Are you serious?" "Yes," he said. "Very." The SUV stopped. The doors unlocked. Cold air rushed in. The daywalker beside me stepped out, looked back with calm eyes that weren't human anymore. "Come inside," he said. "We will test your blood, and your mind, and your hunger." I didn't want to go inside, but if I stayed in the car, if I ran, if I hesitated, the feral's mark would do the rest. I stepped out, feet hitting gravel, wind cutting my skin. The old building loomed over me, huge, quiet, waiting. The daywalker led me to the door. He touched the mark on my arm again and whispered one last warning. "If you hear voices in the test chamber, do not answer them. They are not yours." Then he opened the door, and the darkness inside felt exactly like something that already knew my name.